Hey everybody, welcome back to a brand new episode of Kerbal Space Program. The first one, not the second one. Still waiting for that second one to launch. But speaking of launch, we have a contract over here. Position a satellite in polar orbit. Actually, I was waiting for like an equatorial one. But I think the equatorial one was replaced with this repair a satellite in orbit of Kerbal. And that is, I don't know how to do that just yet. But we might look at it at some point. But yeah, so we have this position a satellite in polar orbit, and if we quickly go to the tracking station, I think I did upgrade a couple of things over here. I can't remember what I've upgraded or anything. It's been too long. But anyways, let's quickly go over here, and yeah, this is the one we're going for. And what I don't really like about it is how close it is to the moon. 11.2 mil, and that is 11.4 mil. So I feel like at some stage, excuse me, the satellite might get encountered by the moon. And that is not really good in my opinion. So yeah, what I'm thinking of doing is once we complete this contract, I'll just shrink the orbit just a scooch so it doesn't get interfered by the moon. I'm not sure, like there is a minuscule chance for it to happen, but I think it will happen at some stage. So we are going to try this orbital, or what is it, polar orbit. And what I'm kind of waiting for is we are going to wait for the Kerbal Space Center to actually rotate to halfway, and then we will launch going southwards, going to the south. We can wait till like when the space center is on the other side and launch northwards, but it doesn't really matter which way you want to do it. I think it's just easier to do it this way. Right. With that said and done, let's quickly go check out the vehicle. Now I have gone like before starting this video and everything, I have gone and created this ship, and with a lot of, how can I say, tried and tested, like a lot of testing. There's a lot of testing that went into this thing to get it to A, fly straight, B, be like fuel efficient, and C, trying to haul some weights with us. Now we have this going up here, and it's going to come along with this satellite over here. So let me quickly give you guys a rundown on what we have over here. We have a big reaction wheel, like I said. Been testing this thing and it's struggling to stay straight, like it wants to flip over, so I included this reaction wheel over here to get it to be proper straight as we fly, with along with these winglets over here. I did use other ones, but they like, I don't know, the air surface on these are much better because they have a little bit of control as well, and they are quite a little bit bigger. So they help us to stay straight. We have a Terror engine in here. There's a Terror engine in here, and we have a big, like what engine is this one? The or not engine, I think it's a FLT 400 fuel tank in here. We got some solar panels to generate power with some battery. Gonna leave this thermo in here because sometimes you get contracts where like the satellite, or like you have to transmit science from orbit, and then you can just, even if it returns with no science, you can still do that and it will satisfy the contract. And then I'm including this antenna instead of the Communitron 16. We are going with the HD5 high gain because this one is a relay, where this one is a direct. The difference between those is this one will communicate with other ships, and since we're going to put this thing in polar orbit, it means that we will have some good way, a proper way of talking to other ships if we're going to send them into space and whatnot. So this thing should, I think it should go to the moon, if not Minmus, around there, talk to them. But yeah, and then we have a few fuel tanks over here, and then we have these you can say side boosters, but it's not really SRBs. They are like normal rockets, but they are attached with a fuel line over here and decoupling over here. And we have a swivel engine over here, but reliant on the sides, which has been derated a little, so they don't give that much amount of kick. They are doing 1.5 thrust to weight at this stage, and they are working fine. We have some struts to make sure that these don't wobble on launch. And I had a lot of issue though with the fuel flow. Just trying to see. I don't know if that's enabled or disabled, but what I've done is I've placed this fuel line up there, down here, and all that, and it was very, very weird. Like these, the center stage would run out of fuel before the side ones. What these fuel lines are supposed to do is feed its fuel to the center one, keeping this one full while flying, even if all three engines are lit. Okay, but tried and tried. I think I've done about 20 runs and whatnot, thinking of like what is the issue. At one stage I had these fuel lines going the wrong direction, so it was feeding fuel out. I think that's why these little arrows are indicated, like the fuel is flowing in that direction. But like I said, I've tried them at the top, I tried them at the bottom, nothing worked. But it looks like if you put it sort of in the center, like there are the two tanks over here, and then with these 4 tanks, like the top 2 and the bottom 2, just in the center, or sort of in the center, and that looks like it works. It's really iffy, and I know you have that advanced tweakables, and you can view the fuel delivery system. I don't know why it's not showing there. I wonder if I do this, fuel delivery. No. If we say over here, fuel delivery, no. Maybe over here. No, it's not showing, but anyways, so yeah, they should, I tried this satellite, it's working. So yeah, we're good. Just gonna save that, and we're gonna go, and hopefully we get something in orbit, in polar orbit. It's not a very hard thing to do. It's not really that hard to do, but it is quite the issue. Okay, so we can see here, like, we have to go in this direction. From the right hand side we have to go north, and from the left hand side we have to go south. Our apoapsis is 11 mil, and our periapsis is about 9.2. And yeah, so what we want to do is we sort of want to fast forward time so that our station is sort of like aligned, if I can put it this way, like sort of like around here. And then we launch so that we can send the satellite going downwards, because there's a rotation of the Earth and all that kind of stuff. And the other problem is we're not getting, because it's not equatorial like the moon, we won't have that launch assist from the planet. So let's go ahead and fast forward a little. See how... Whoa. I missed the window of opportunity there. That. Fast forward a little bit more. Okay, we're spending a few days, which we should not. And I feel like, is that far enough? Go a little bit more. Just a scooch. A little bit more. And then we will launch before we get to that line. I feel like that is good enough. Yeah, that is sort of, yeah, I don't know really, there must be a way to figure this out, but I really don't know. M for map, there we go. And it's a nice sunny day, so yeah. Right, SAS turned on, throttle to full. So we are going to launch, and then we're going to detach, and then at some stage the boosters will have to get separated, and then we will detach from the main fuel line, and then we should be golden. All right, let's go. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to sort of pull to the right hand side just a little up until we get high enough, and then I'm going to start doing a gravity turn. It's a little bit too early, but I started early. And you still want to do a gravity turn, but we're going to go up, way up. Alright, there we go. Looking lovely. And as we can see, the two side fuels are gonna run out of fuel before the main one, while they are feeding fuel into the center, which is very, very nice. Okay, we're getting some mark effects, I think. And just want to keep this in this little marker over here. Just a little bit. We're going up, way up, because our apoapsis and periapsis are like super high. So we want to escape the atmosphere as quickly as possible while we are ascending. And we can go a little bit more now. And I just want to keep this in here when these side thrusters are going to be jettisoned. There we go. Lovely. And how are we looking over here? Well, we're going into space. Why are you not... Okay, well, it doesn't matter. I'm going to go a little bit more flat now. Okay. A little bit more flat. So that we can keep it around here-ish. So we can push this out at some stage. And we can use this... Why are you doing that? We can use the stage to circularize and all that kind of thing. But that's the whole point of this, of the satellite itself. And let's go properly flat now. Keeping this here. That is looking fine. Man, this video is going very good. Something terrible is about to happen at some stage. But I'm gonna keep pushing this thing out. Because we're quite high up. We're like 200,000 meters up. We're quite high up. And we're almost gonna run out of this stage. And I just want to stage before we start doing our thing. And how are we looking? Okay, we're doing good. Very, very well. Let's keep pushing this thing out. And I don't want this to break out of orbit immediately. Oh dear. Okay, it's not that bad. We can fix that at some stage. And we are actually pushing up our periapsis here a little. It's gonna pop out. There we go. Yay. Growing and growing. And we don't want to go too high though. Okay. So we've made it to space. We have a tiny amount of fuel in here, but I'm going to start staging now. Just want to check something. Okay, I think this stage will return back to Kerbal, so I'm just going to stage now. And then what we're going to do is we're going to plan a maneuver here. And then grow our orbit a little. So that we are somewhat circularized. Let's do that till it flips. Yeah. Okay, we will see what we can do. We have a lot. We have a lot of delta V in our tank. So 13, 6. Let's delay this a little. Oh, we'll see. We're getting a encounter there with the moon, which we don't want. Okay. Just want to figure this out. Actually, let's cancel this. And then... No. Go away. Get that out of the way. Maybe if we start a maneuver a little bit earlier. It has to be... What am I doing? Drawing the wrong thing. Let's just get something that is a little bit more circular. Something like that. We will fix things. We got a lot of delta V. I'm not too worried about it. So let's go ahead and turn this this way. This thing has a lot of reaction wheel to it. There we go. And I think I'm going to quick save. Click here and say warp to next maneuver. It's going to be an 8-second burn, so we should... about 4 seconds, I would say. So let's go ahead and fast forward time a little. Just a little bit. Not too quickly. 6, 5, 4. Go for burn. And I say that should be good enough, in my opinion. Alright, so as we can see, we're barely missing the moon. Okay, we have a couple of things we need to do, so... I think let's try something over here. We add a maneuver over here. And we twist our orbit a little. We bring it back like this. Like that. I'm going to try to do this all in one burn. That. And then I wonder if we start doing this. Back a scooch. That. And bring it back some more. Do this. Let me just see if I can figure this out. Give me a moment. I got this, guys. I got this. In the bag. Okay, and then if we try to grow it a little. Yeah, I'm not doing this properly, am I? You may freely go ahead and curse me in the comments. Let's try this again. So around. Try this at the polar. Add a maneuver. What I want to do is twist our orbit back. Something like this. Bring it back a little. That. And just shrink it a scooch. Because, yeah, I didn't, like I said, the way we had to lift off and everything did not help at all. That and like that. Okay, so no, that is doing something different. No, let's make it bigger. And I just want this little lippy thing over here to touch. So, let's bring it back. And the moon is not helping. No. Go away. Like that. Nope. I always get my ways wrong. Why am I so bad at this? Rocket, this is supposed to be that hard. Okay. I feel like let's do this to get our orientation and everything correct. Quite a ways of a burn, but it's fine. And once we were here, we just extend our orbit, and that should be that. Come on. Want to face ourselves to the node. Like so. And then I'm just gonna quick save and say warp to next maneuver. It's a 9-second burn. It's about what, 4 seconds again? Alright. 4 seconds. 4, 5-ish. As soon as it hits 5, we wait a tick and then we will hit the brakes. 8, 7, 6, 5. And then... There we go. Okay. I think we're good in that department. Now what we can do is... somewhere along the lines over here. Let's add a maneuver. And just... grow this thing. Just a scooch. Around there should be fine. And we're looking good, actually. Really, really good. Before we before we do our maneuver, I'm going to extend this. And now we should have properly good, what do you call it, signal. So, burn second. Okay, that is very, very small amount of burnage. So, I'm going to half that, so about 50%. So a full burn. Okay, there we go. 4 seconds. That's what I like to see. I wonder, can we get a little bit more? 37. Now let's bring it up a little. Yeah, about a 10-second burn. So 5 seconds to go. Okay, that sounds decent for me. Alright, quick save again. And then we say warp to next maneuver. And then we just orientate ourselves. And then wait 5 seconds again. It's just a little bit easier when the engine is de-escalated. Whatever. It's not as powerful as it should be. Yeah. And let's time warp a little towards the node. And 8, 7, 6, 5. Go for burn. Slow burn. And whoops, stop. Okay, and let's try the other one. No. By the other way, just a tick of shift. Bringing it closer back. Okay, I just noticed something. We are going in the wrong direction. Oop! I think there is an easy fix for it. Say, add a maneuver. Want to twist our orbit. Can we do something like this? Are we allowed to? Oh, oh, what are you doing, game? Okay, let's do this in 2 stages. One at the top, one at the bottom. So around here-ish. Actually, where our apoapsis. Add a maneuver there. So let's go ahead and twist our orbit. Okay, and then no. That's okay. Hold on. Let me see if I can get this figured out. All right, welcome back. So I've managed to. It's just been a couple of minutes, but I've managed to get this thing orbiting the correct direction. I think that was my mistake. I did not look at where I was orbiting and whatnot, and yeah, it's not good. It was not good at all. So what I'm going to do is just quickly going to add a maneuver here. And then just slow down just a scooch. So that perhaps is 8. That should be 10. I just want a minor amount. Look at how much fuel I've wasted just to get this thing proper. Just something like that. 8.9, 8.8. Okay, that should be fine. Let me go and... Okay, first of all, let's go here, and thrust limiter should be a little bit more kick. Around 10%. That. And that should be a 5-second burn. Alright, and then I'm gonna save here. And then click over here, warp to next maneuver. It's gonna give us a minute before the maneuver. Okay, and then just want to get this correct. And I'm gonna start the burn in about 5 seconds, but it's not gonna be a big burn or anything. It's, like I said, 5 seconds. I just want to get this thing in a circular orbit so that we don't smack into the moon whatsoever. I think this is far enough that it will not get influenced at all. Just gonna burn till this wants to start flipping, and that should be fine. So 9, 8.8. So that is actually a pretty circular orbit. There we go. And if we look at our contracts, here we go. Some monies and whatnot. Very nice. Very, very nice. Now let's go to... are we? I'm warping. Oh, wait. We're in map mode. There we go. And yeah, there we go. We have a relay satellite in orbit. We are good in that department. Yeah, let's go ahead to the Space Center. Just quickly want to check out what contracts we have. And I don't think we got any signs from this whole mission. We just got some monies for it. So let's quickly go ahead and check out. I like to do these at launch site because they give us a minor amount of passive income. Explore the moon. Okay. Didn't we do this before? Orbit the moon. We have to go into an orbit. We have to do a spacewalk and then return from Kerbal. Or return to Kerbal from an orbit of the moon. Which is quite some cash. And do we get an advance? Yeah, we get some advance, but that's okay. I think we're gonna try this one. A position an equatorial orbit. Yeah, I think I'm gonna do this one off screen. Because we just saw like how to do a polar one, and that's one of the harder ones than an equatorial. So I'm thinking of doing this one. Yay. I'm gonna take this one and I think around the moon. Okay, let's take this one because we are going for like an orbit around the moon. So I'm gonna take this one and this one. Yeah. Okay, cool. Anyways, people, that's it for me. Thanks so much for joining me here on Kerbal Space Program. Hope you guys did enjoy today's episode, and I will see you guys next time. Bye-bye.